Hi and welcome. In this tutorial we are going to draw some cartoon tourists. Just kind of thinking about vacation now, being trapped in this place for, I don't know, was it been 2 months? I don't even know. I do get out for water and a walk every now and then, but the collar is so tight it just is frustrating. Anyway, we're going to do this little drawing here, and I'm going to take you from the start to finish, and may speed it up a little bit in the middle if I feel like it's going a little bit too long, but I'm going to try and do it quickly and just have some fun with it. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Okay, so this entire illustration I am going to do in Photoshop. What I've done is I'm showing you the blocked in rough, very rough. I kind of just block it in shapes, and that's part of the whole thing. It's just coming up with the shapes of the characters, and so I'm always having fun with creating personalities. You can really do it with some cool shapes. So this was the first really rough sketch, and then took it to this, and let's say I ghosted that back, and so there's where we got to. So we started with that, and then we started with this and went to that. And if I turn this down, you can kind of see the transformation maybe a little bit better. Let's see. So underneath, yeah, so you can see the rough thing underneath, and then when I come back over the top and do a little more refined sketch, I add a little more detail. And so that's where we are. So I'm going to go ahead and create one more layer, and I'm going to basically take let's see, this one, we can turn that one off, and let's take this one down and take the opacity down. So I'm just adjusting the opacity so that I can see it underneath, but it doesn't distract. And I'm going to go here and grab basically black, and grab a good this pencil that I really like. I'm going to zoom in on it. I'm not sure whether I will make it, might make it even, sometimes it's kind of fun to make it a thicker pencil. Let's see what size it is right now. And no, it's a pretty good size right now. That'll work great. So I'm literally just gonna go for it, and that's the fun thing about this. I kind of get a rough sketch in here, and that's what I encourage you to do, is get a rough sketch, and then you can just modify as you go, because I can see some things here that I want to move around a little bit, but generally, I've got things close, and so I'm just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna just do this really loose, kind of fun style that I do, and oops, as I tighten up right there. So there, I'm going to just go for it here. Do we have this? Oh, I can see the flow. Okay, so in the brushes, real quick, I've got opacity at 100%, so it'll be that solid black, but then I've got the flow at 50%, so it's not really giving me all of that black. So let's see what happens when I turn it up. You'll see the difference. Yeah, see, it's much more black. That's what we want. Nice solid line. Okay, so I'm just gonna play here, and where people ask me, how do you know where to start your drawings, and I really don't. I just kind of go for it. If I open the thing up and I feel like drawing on the sleeves, I'll start there. Sometimes I'll start with a face. I don't know. It's just kind of whatever you like, whatever feels good. If it feels good, do it. Okay, so I'm gonna just go here again, keeping these lines nice and wiggly, but I'm also, as you can see here, or I don't know if you can, but I'm gonna tell you about it. What I'm doing sometimes is, in certain spots, I will make the underside of the line a little heavier than the top side. It almost adds a shadow to it just by your line weight. Just by changing the line weight a little bit, you can sort of affect that. And I really like, I think it works really well to have the line weights varied. It's just more interesting drawing. If I'm doing something really vector-ish, I might use Illustrator, of course, as opposed to Photoshop, because Illustrator is a vector-based program. What is a vector-based program? Well, for those of you that are beginners, and mostly I'm speaking to beginners, my tutorials are really meant for beginners, people that just want to draw and have some fun. Vectors are, the kind of the razor sharp lines that are you could literally enlarge that vector file to the size of a billboard, or reduce it down to the size of something really tiny, and still have razor sharp lines. Where if I'm drawing in Photoshop here, like I am right now, I pretty much better make sure that I have the right resolution for my drawing at 100% of whatever the output size is. So if I'm going to actually print this like on a color printer or something, the actual a good resolution anyway, at least for outputting into a color printer, if you have a home color printer, inkjet printer, something like that, is 300 ppi or dpi, pixels per inch, or dots per inch. That is a sort of the standard amount of resolution that you would really want if you're going to print on paper. If it's for web purposes or a website or what have you, you can go with 72 dpi resolution, and that will work at 1:1, and these are at 1:1. So when I say at 1:1, what I mean is whatever your final resolution is going to be, 100% of the size. So when I say 300, let me make an example and make this even more clear, hopefully. If you're going to print on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, make sure that your image is 300 dots per inch at 8.5 by 11. So in other words, don't draw your image on a 5 by 7 when you set it up here in File, and you create a new file. Make sure it's 8.5 by 11 and 300 dpi or ppi, so that when you print it out on your paper, it's the best resolution that you can get for your particular final purpose. Hope that made some sense. Let me know if it didn't, and I will make that more clear. I'll probably do something actually on illustrating, for print or whatever. That might be kind of a good, maybe a good tutorial to do, just in case you want to, do some drawings and print them on your inkjet printer. How do you do that? What's the best way to do that? How do I set those things up? I might do something on that. But generally 300 dpi for print, and 72 dpi for digital stuff or web-based stuff. And you can use, when you output your files, you can output them as JPEGs. If you're going to do print, you can output it as JPEGs. And if you need a transparent background, the PNG file format is probably going to be your best bet. Okay, let's see here. So I'm just gonna, when I play around with stuff like this, I'm trying to notice how I kind of wiggle my lines a little bit. Something jumped in there. What the heck? When I it's this pencil that I have here. These digital pencils are kind of funny because there's some settings here under brush settings that will make them kind of move around a little bit, shape dynamics. So let's see what we got here. Angle jitter. No thank you. This angle jitter is making it jump off track all the time. In case you want your line really sort of random, but I don't really want it 100% random. I want to keep some control over it. Let's see here. So maybe I will, I'm not sure, but I think I might, speed this up a little bit. Let me see here. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead and turn off my voice and just draw this in sort of a speed drawing kind of mode. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to execute the rest of this illustration, and when I get it all tight and the way that I think it's working, I will come right back to you. So I will keep this on basically one layer. So we've got the rough sketch layer down here, and then I'm on another layer right here. So this is like the line art. And by the way, I'm doing it in a way here. I normally would name these layers, you know, so if you want to do some good housekeeping, you name your layers. That way you know which ones you're working on. And I would often lock this rough sketch layer so that I don't accidentally draw on that. So if I lock it, there's a little lock symbol, and then I go back to the line art layer. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and draw this, and I'm going to speed it all up for us, and I'll be back when I'm finished. Be right back. So there you have it. Final drawing here, the tourists. I don't know what inspired me to do this, but anyway, if you've ever wanted to learn how to draw and just enjoy it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook and also on Instagram. I'll be coming out with all kinds of fun tutorials and sort of speed drawings just to kind of inspire you and teach as well. Be teaching graphic design, illustration, all kinds of fun stuff, all creative stuff. So thanks for watching this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.